people. We are into sales, and sales is a skill that needs to be mastered just like any other skill. And I thought today I should share with you something that we had was shared, and it was a reminder for me that I know we need to keep talking about it, about the psychology of a sale. And I remember we did share a bit of this into how you can close in the previous session. You know how you can close the question that you need to ask and all that. But before you close, of course, you have to make sure that you have done an amazing pitch. You have already created a rapport with your person or with your customer. You know, like that process until someone is saying that I'm ready to buy, until someone is saying I am ready to do business with you, you know, has to be in a certain way. So it doesn't have to go the way this is, like in terms of the words and all that. It doesn't have to be all the same from one person to the next. It's not a script, you know. It's about who you meet, what you present, what's your niche, okay, what's your product. And you know, like in Forever, we do have got different products. Like one of our main products is our marketing plan, when it comes to like helping people understand the business. But then before going to pitch the business presentation to that person, then you have to do a certain things for someone to be in a good moment, or for someone to be in a good space to even listen to you, for someone to feel like it actually makes sense to sit down and listen to this person. You know, another product that we do have, of course, is health and wellness. You know, so before going and talk to someone about your products, then, or before talking to someone about your aloe vera gel, for example, about the bedroom pack, about the weight loss program that we have, about that, you know, asthma products, you know, ulcers products, for example, then you have to you have to help a person be in a certain space to be able to even listen to you. You understand? Otherwise, then of course you're gonna be saying like, yeah, people are saying products are expensive. People are saying, you know, they can afford it. People are saying that there are other products that they're using and all that. You will always incur a lot of objections when it comes to you selling your products, whatever product that you want to sell. So I thought I should share with you the psychology of a sell, okay? Because not so many people are massive recruiters, not so many people are massive retailers, but we can definitely increase that number. We can definitely increase that number if we choose to understand, to create, to learn the skills on how you can do it. So I'm going to share with you a few steps that you're supposed to take when it comes to psychology of a selling, to helping your customer make that decision. But of course, before these steps, then there are a few things that you also need to be, as you know, to be and take part as a salesperson. You know, one is you need to look good. You understand? You need to look like a product. All right, before to pitching to someone, then someone has to be able to relate that product that you're going to talk to with you. So if it's a product which is a marketing plan, then make sure that you're looking like a professional, for example. All right, you're going for a one-to-one. I'm sure we have spoken about this a number of times. Just reminding you, I'm in Tanzania right now, and I do come to the business. I do come to the training rooms. Like we do, of course, the Unstoppable Hub, for example, in a nice building, you know, expensive building. But there are people that are coming there, they're FBOs, and they're wearing sleepers. You know, someone is wearing an old T-shirt. Someone is wearing, you know, like they don't look apart. They don't look like a forever business owner. And I think before going to sell to someone, when you're bringing someone for a one-to-one, I mean, you have to make sure that you're dressing to impress. Not expensive, but looking good, looking clean, looking neat. You understand? Have the tools that you need. You understand? If it's a one-to-one presenter, have it. If you're gonna go to talk about the products, then have the product catalog. You understand? It can also be in the phone. That is even more nice. You know, it could be or as the hard copy. It can also be on a phone. You know, you don't have to have a laptop. That's what I mean, for you to say like I'm having a tool. Maybe you need a few products or product samples for South Africa that probably we do have some samples. I think they're back. Okay. You need to have some flyers and things like those. But also you need to know your products. You know, you need to also have profiled that person, knowing like what kind of a person this is. If you're talking about the business, then of course you're one-to-one to to a student will be a different one-to-one from someone that is a professional. It's going to be a different one-to-one from a stay-at-home mom. You know, how you're going to open your presentation really matters. You know that, so profiling is important. All right. If you have called someone for you and the appointment was about talking about products, and you don't have a specific product you want to talk to that person about, maybe you don't know any health challenge that that person has, then you need to have an idea of what you think that person might have. But as you before starting to pitch all the products, then probably you need to ask a question like, what do you think when it comes to health is what you're looking for? Are you this person that is looking for, you know, products, or rather you're looking for making sure that your kids are healthy so that you can be able to focus more on the kids products? Or maybe if you can be able to ask, like, do you have any particular healthy challenge that is that you want to tackle, maybe from you or from your family, you know, for you to make sure that you are actually pitching a sales pitch on something that that person has in demand. Otherwise, you'll be finding yourself like wasting all the time talking to someone about a product, a certain product, and someone is not interested. I remember I went to a certain health talk and people were not giving me the energy. You understand? And personally, that was the first time actually I closed my meeting. I was like, you know what? I think you guys are not ready to listen to me, and I think this is not the right time. So when you're ready, then you let me know. Because I was talking, and then everybody was on their phone and all that. I think it wasn't the right time. And sometimes you have to know that this is not the right time to speak to a person, you know, and you have to know when to end the meeting. You understand, that you don't end, you don't find yourself like wasting a lot of energy and still getting that negative vibe and all that. And that is why also when you're making a call to make an appointment, before you do the sales pitch, then you have to make sure that you're asking that person like, is it the right time for me to talk to you? That question is very important so that you can know that it's the right time to get the energy that you actually need from that person. You understand? So, well, these are the steps that you're supposed to take. One is you need to be able to identify the problem. Okay, problem identification. So let's say you want to talk about now health, for example. So problem identification is one is help someone understand that health is a challenge right now. You understand? Help someone understand that it's a challenge. Health is a challenge right now. If your product, if what you're going to talk to is the marketing plan, then help someone understand that the product that, the problem that we do have right now is unemployment. Is people do not have, is unemployment one. Second is that the fact that we have put a lot of, for example, if it's a student, then tell that someone that, you know, we have put a lot of graduates that are graduating right now and they don't have jobs. They're looking for jobs and all that. You understand? People don't have the money. People are into debts. People are into, you know, don't have time for those that have got money, but they don't have security when it comes to their careers. You understand? That is you helping someone identify the problem that is going to relate with your sales pitch. All right, with what you're going to talk about, with the product that you're going to have. Okay, whether it's a marketing plan or whether it's a product, a healthy product. The second is make sure that you're helping someone create logic and put in some emotions into it. All right, even if you're in a master class, I see that people from Tanzania, probably you're in a master class, then you need to know that how I'm going to share with you will be a reminder of what you learned on Saturday, and I'm sure there are things that I will add on you. So I want you to be very keen. All right, and they say for someone to get to understand something and to start putting action into it, then they probably have to listen to it or hear from it maybe 5 times to 12 times. You understand? So like keep listening, right? So one is identify the problem identification. Second is create logic and put some emotions into it. You understand? So creating logic is like when you're talking about health, now you know, or the prospect knows, or your customer knows that the problem that we have is health. We have got a lot of health challenges, but tell them, you know, why why do we have health challenges? Like right now, people don't have the time to take care of themselves. People don't have the time to eat healthy, but on top of that, there are things that you can really not avoid. Our food that we eat is grown, all the chemicals that are put in there, the pests that are putting there, the things like the sun is burning too high right now, like those, so help someone understand why we have that problem, okay, and help someone understand that actually makes sense, like get someone into a level that's saying, like, you know what, it actually makes sense. You understand? When it comes to marketing plan, you're talking to a student, like, you're like, you know what, I know you're schooling right now, but have you seen, like in Tanzania, we've got over 150,000 people graduating every year. And then the people that are actually making it to getting a job is only 50,000. Can you imagine? We only have about 100,000 students or 100,000 graduates that are looking for jobs right now. Have you seen all these when all these videos that are showing massive numbers of people waiting for interviews? Have you seen those? That is you helping that person feel like, it actually makes sense. Yes, it is so true that unemployment is too high right now. You need to make that person get to that level. All right. That is creating logic and then put also some emotions into it. If you're talking to someone, that emotions in the sense that make someone feel make someone feel the problem, you understand? And the challenge that you're speaking about, and the challenge that is at hand at this particular time. Like, for example, when you're talking to a mother, you're like, you know what, if we as parents, if we as adults are not taking care of our health, now can you imagine about, how our kids are going to be in the next 5 years? Because if we cannot do that, now can you imagine? Because our kids are looking at what we are doing. Our kids are eating what we are eating, So can you imagine how destructive that is to our kids? That is you helping that person feel like, you know what, this problem, this challenge is not only about me. Even if I'm gonna, for example, if you're gonna talk about the products, you have already connected that whatever you're gonna talk to her or him about, with the kids, and that is deep. You understand? That is deep. Make sure that you're making that someone feel like whatever this person is gonna talk to me is very important. You understand? Now, when we talk about career, for example, or making money, or about your product's marketing plan, help someone feel that it's beyond him or her. Like, yes, I know we have got a lot of health. We have got a lot of unemployment issues right now. People are losing their jobs. You understand? But now you see how deep this is. Like, look at how also also all these crimes that are there and all that, like, make someone feel that you actually make sense, and make sure that someone is relating, put some emotions into it, create logic and emotions. And then the next thing that you do is attack. Attack is making someone feel scared, not in a bad way, but make sure, and don't don't exaggerate so much. But attack is make someone feel like, I need to take action. I actually need to take action. Not just taking action, I need to take action now. You understand? So if you're talking about health and supplements, for example, share examples of people or stories. It doesn't have to be stories that you actually know, but I'm sure when different speakers, for example, in our business are sharing about the products, you get to hear about stories. For example, I know when it comes to women's health, there's this example that I always use of a certain lady whose womb, uterus was removed at age 16. When you're telling someone like that, that's scary. That's scary. So if you're talking to a young girl, they will know that at that particular time they have to take care of their health. The health now is not only for the old people. When you're talking about prostate, tell people, like, you know what, right now
prostate issues is not that guy. Now you're talking to a man, that guy has to know that prostate issues are not for people from 50 years. Actually, from age 35, you need to start taking care of your health. Remind people that we have got a lot of cases when it comes to kidney failures and liver failures right now, more than ever before. Remind people that we have got, kids that are overweight, that are, less than 10 years. They're actually teenagers that are a lot of teenagers that are actually diabetic, have got diabetic type 2. That is how serious health challenges are getting right now. You understand? Like, tell someone, like, you can look like this, and you can look like, you can feel like you're very slim and all that because you have got a high metabolic activities, but does not mean that you don't have cholesterol. Scare someone a bit. You understand? Does it make sense? Because if you don't scare that person, trust me, they will not see a need why they should take charge. If you're talking to a student about a business, tell them, like, you see, you're gonna graduate in the next 1 year, you're gonna graduate in the next 2 years. Have you seen how many students or how many graduates that are, having these black shoes and that are full of dust, and they're carrying an old an old envelope, like moving around from office to the next? I have seen, tell people, like, because it's true, I'm sure they've also seen a lot of graduates that they did computer science, but they are doing, they're doing sales in supermarkets, for example. They're selling granuts, like, that is a bit scary. And I'm sure that is not something that they want, while you're going to present to them a business opportunity that they can use social media. They can build it at home. They can also tap into the international markets as students, as they're preparing themselves before they get to become graduates. You understand? You have to attack. That is what I'm saying. You have to make sure that you're making someone feel like, what, I have to take action right now. And of course, tell people, when it comes to health, I also tell people, like, what, I know people are taking, people don't take health issues serious. People do invest a lot of money on their dressing, on their, on their skins, for them to look good, on makeup and on hair, but people don't invest in their health. But you see, our health problems do not appear just like that. Like, you can be eating a burger today, but you don't get overweight tomorrow. You can be smoking, but you don't get, I use that phrase a lot, but you don't get this what is this, lung cancer tomorrow. But if it were like that, people would be investing in their health. But because it doesn't happen, people do forget themselves. But I know that it actually makes sense, and actually right now people are like waking up. Yes, because our health problems do come to us, do come to reveal itself in the next 5 years, the next 10 years. Now, can you imagine, by the time you're 35, by the time you're 40, that is when you're having all these healthy problems, instead of you starting, enjoying the life with your wife or with your husband and your kids, start traveling around and all that, because you've already made the money. That is when you're starting taking care of, taking care of your health, taking yourself to the hospitals and all that. I am sure that is not what you want. That is you attacking that person, ladies and gentlemen. If it makes sense, tell me that it makes sense. So one is identify the problem. So be specific of what you're going to talk to about with that person. Help that person create logic and emotion. Help that person feel like it actually makes sense. And then attack that person, make that person get scared a bit, for that person to be able to make the decision right there and then. All right. And then the next thing is, now give the solution. So the solution is, right now, we are supposed to, that because of what I've been sharing with you, for example, now you're talking about health, because of what I've been sharing with you, like the way we grow our foods, the way, there's a lot of water pollution, air pollution and all that, the environment where our food is kept and all that, we are missing nutrients, so definitely we are overfed and undernourished. We are overfed and undernourished, meaning someone is just eating and then is getting full. But then how much nutrients do we get? Because our bodies needs two things. It needs to be, fed with enough nutrients, but on top of that, it needs to be detoxed. And so there is where supplementation comes in. Now you're giving a solution. There is where supplementation comes in. So today I want to talk to you about the supplements, and not only supplements, I want to talk to you about the supplements from the amazing, or rather the company has already made a lot of difference in the world right now. A lot of people right now are looking into using these supplements and actually are using these supplements. And in sales, there's a certain word, a certain statement. It's called most people. When you're pitching to someone, use the word most people as many times for someone to feel like, if I'm not going to make a decision, then I am missing out. You understand? Then I am missing out. All right. And so someone has to feel like, you know what? I need to be part of these many people that are using these products. So yes, so I'm going to talk to you about Forever Living, all right? Forever Living, sorry. I'm going to talk to you about Forever Living. Okay, yeah. And I've personally been using these products. Me and my family have been amazing to me. And now start talking about your product. So if it's aloe vera gel, then start talking about aloe vera gel. So if you're talking about the bedroom pack or the Clean 9, or, one is, if you've used the products, one is share the stories. Always remember that stories sell, okay, and facts tell. And yes, share some facts, but then, which is important, all right? But have at least 3 to 5 sales points of the product you're gonna share. 3 to 5 sales points. So for example, for me, when it comes to supplementation in general, when we go out and do the health talks in offices, health talks in schools, health talks in gyms, myself, I have got a way to relate the products in a way that people can understand. I use an example of servicing our cars. Why do we service our cars and all that, And then I relate it with why we should use the products, because our products is a way of us servicing our bodies from within. You understand? So sharing your story is something that is very important. The way Kumo usually shares a story of being bloated and all that, the way I do share my story of being diabetic and having high cholesterol and all that. So you need to have your own personal story. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're not using enough products, then keep on using enough products. All right. Now, the other training that I did share on how you can be able to assess your Forever 4 core. And one of them was, the amount of products you're supposed to use. The product that you're supposed to use are supposed to be at least 15. From 15, it doesn't have to be that you had a health challenge. It can be how you love Alolip. Because that one product that you love, if you can be able to describe how much and how good it makes you feel, then you can say, you know what, this is just one of the products that we do have got a lot of other products that are actually doing amazing things to other people. And you can share one more story of a certain person that has got maybe a health challenge. You understand? The other day we had a session, a masterclass, and one of the ladies in Team Unstoppable, actually, she's called Betty. She was sharing with us that before Forever, she used to be hospitalized so many times because she had diabetes that she did not know where it came from. It was going to up to 40. Can you imagine? It's reading 40. I mean, it was that high. She was fainting a number of times. She it was bad, and then she started using the products, and the product was the Forever Living was shared with her by a lady called Zaninka, who is actually here. I'm sure she's very proud. Today, Betty is really making a difference, not only in her, because she's not fainting anymore. Her sugar is reading between 4, 5. She can stay. She used to do insulin, all these injections every single day. Now she doesn't do that. I mean, that is an amazing story to share. So when someone is sharing a story in terms of a video or on social media, anywhere, read that story and see how you can be able, because there's a day that you're going to remember that you need to share with another person. So let's be keen on the information that are being shared. So solution. So now that is when you're supposed to start talking about that product. So when you're meeting someone, don't be like, yeah, you know what, I'm in Forever Living, and we have got amazing health products, and we have got this aloe vera gel, we have got multi-marker, we have got tooth gel and all that. You have not identified a problem. You have not created logic. you have not connected with that person, you have not attacked that person is not going to buy. We can be moving around all we want, but I'm telling you, if we use the psychology of ourselves and at least help someone create logic, attack that person, make someone feel, get the emotions, when of the problem that we have, we are going to maximize all the activities. We're going to get better results when you go out. We're going to get better results when we are presenting about the business opportunity. We're going to get more people join our business. You understand? We're going to get more people buy the products. All right. So this is super important, I think. And I think it's very important that we actually go through this session over and over and over again for us to understand and start using it. Now, after the solution, that is when you can start asking the questions and handling the objection. Okay. So someone will be like asking, okay, so I understand, but and you see, when you have presented your business, when you have presented your business like this, or you have presented your products like this, following these steps, you're gonna get less of the product or less of the question like, hey, I don't have money. Or you're gonna get less of the challenges or objection like, hey, you know what, these products are expensive. Because people will feel like they have a need. You understand? And people feel like, I really need to do this. Okay. So yes, you're going to have questions. You're going to have objections to handle, but probably they're going to be a bit different. They're like, you know what? So, okay. So if I want to use this product, do I have to be using these products every month? Those will be your questions, ladies and gentlemen. You understand? And once the questions are like this, it means someone is already interested. But they're thinking like, okay, so will I be investing my money every single month? Or I can be using maybe 1 bottle a month and then, skip, or using 2 bottles a month. And this way, you're going to be having a lot more repetitive sales. Because, if you have not made sense to that person, if you have not helped that person get scared a bit, someone can use the products, and even if this person has got diabetes, for example, which is a big problem, and they know that they need to take care of it, they can use the products once and they can quit, or they can buy the product and then they use in a week, and then they feel like it doesn't make sense. They quit using it because you have not helped them make sense of what you're talking about. Are you understanding what I mean? But once you have followed through the steps, I can assure you, you will have some people like Betty who has used the product for the first time, and then they keep buying until their problems is vanished. And that is to say that you are assured of the repetitive sales. You understand? Oh, but one more thing that you need to remember is, after you have done your sales pitch of what you wanted to share, one thing that you want to do is you want to know if someone needs to understand something else. For example, you were talking about weight loss. You can also tell people like, you know what, we do have got healthy problems. We do have got other products when it comes to skin, about, products for kids. We have got products for reproductive health. Help someone understand that we have got a lot more than the cells, than the weight loss product. So that they might have, because now you're talking health, they might have another product or set of products that they want to hear, and that is you maximizing on that sales. Am I making sense? Do I make sense? Do I make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Hello? Only Linda is the one that is replying to me, and Mariana. Oh, yes, Kumo. Where are you? Other people, my people, where are you? Okay. All right. Cool. Now I know we're together. All right. So make sure that you're make sure that you're selling a lot more. All right, just a little bit more. Okay. So yeah, so questions and answers. And right now, at this particular time, trust me, you don't need a leader. Like, hey, I'm gonna talk to my upline and then I'm gonna you are able now to close that business. If you've gone through, that means you're able, that means your prospect is ready to buy. Trust me, you need to have that thinking in your mind, because they're definitely able.
All right. Now, next thing that you need to do is need to give people the direction. You need to tell that person, what are you expecting from them? You need to ask for that business. You need to be able to ask that person, you know what? I believe I've made sense boldly with authority. You'll be like, you know what? I believe I've made sense to you. And I've been doing this to so many people, and people are like feeling like they need to take action. And I do feel like you also need to take action right now. All right. So I believe that you're ready to get started. Not like, when are you starting? When it comes to me, when are you starting? No. You be like, I believe that you're ready to get started. So are you an absolute person? Are you an absolute person? They'll be like, yes, I'm definitely absolute. I want to start the business. Okay. So what you need to do right now is there's an application form that you're supposed to fill in. Okay. And then how much do you want to start right now? Do you want to start with a combo, or do you want to start with how much? Guys, you need to be able to ask that question. And you need to know that without asking that question, you'll be doing a lot of one-to-ones and people not be joining, because you're not giving people the direction. The same as when you're doing when you're writing when you're writing a social media post, you have to make sure that in every post you're giving people a direction, and you have to know why you're putting that post. That post could be making sure that someone is laughing, for example, or it could be an educative post. It could be a showing off post once in a while, right? But it could also be a post where you're asking a business. You know, maybe it's a post that you're asking for more engagement. Maybe it's a post that you're asking for, people to share with other people. So you have to tell people, either comment below for an engagement post, or I'm looking for people to work with. If it's a post that you're looking for people to, to come to you and ask you about the business opportunity. It could be like, hey, share this with a lot more people, if you have added value, because you want more people to see. And trust me, the day you write, share this with many people, you will have, when you go to looking at your engagement of your post, you'll see more people have shared that. The day you say comment below, it means you have given people an option of, like something like, hey, should I wear a red shoe, a blue shoe? That is an engagement post. So be like, hey, comment, I want to know your thoughts. You will get a lot more comments below. Trust me, people will do what you tell them to do. So even if on the asking for the business, you have to be ready to show people what they need to do. So this is an example of what I've been sharing with you. So just screenshot this, because I'm not going to go through it, because I've been doing that as I was explaining. Okay. And then now I will want to remind you that success is into follow-up. Ladies and gentlemen, success is into follow-up. So even if you do all this, if you don't do follow-up, you're not going to get that sale. You're not going to do the business. Now, when is the sale going to happen? I've gone through this before. 2% of people are only 2% are going to buy when you tell them from the very first beginning. When you meet someone and you're telling about the business or the opportunity or the products, only 2% of the people that you're going to present are going to buy from the first contact, 3% on the second contact, 5% on the third contact, 10% are going to make a decision after you've followed up on them at least 4 times. And then 80% from the 5th to the 12th contact, 80% of the sales. Now, when do people give up? When do FBOs give up? Especially those people that do not do follow-up, 44%, they give up on doing the follow-up, and they don't follow up anymore on their first no. When someone says no, they say, they forget about that person. They feel the pain and they let go. 22%, they fail to follow up after the second no. They do the first pitch, they follow up the second time, and after that, they're like, I'm letting go. 14% on the third no. 12%, they give up on the fourth no, and only 8% go to the 5th and more no's. So which one are you? Do you give up on the first percent, on the first no, on the second, on the third, on the fourth, or you're this person that is keep learning every day to make sure that you're doing better follow-up on your people and keep following up on the people? The surprise is 80% of sales are made by only 8% of people. 80% of sales are made by 80% of people, ladies and gentlemen. So you can choose to be one of the 8%. by choosing to keep learning, more learning of the psychology of yourself, so that you can do better presentation, you can communicate better, all right? And then you need to keep learning on follow up, on how you can do a better follow-up, so that you can keep following up in a more professional way, in a way that you personally don't feel like you're a bother to another person. Okay, so that you can keep on following from the fifth follow-up to the 12th follow-up, for you to maximize on yourself. Now, I want to remind you, as we are closing this session, I want to remind you that all this will not matter. Probably will not put in the action if you don't understand why you're doing what you're doing. And for me, why I'm doing what I'm doing is because personally, I do have put a lot of goals. Personally, I know my business is not my business alone. My business is for my family. I'm building this. I'm waking up in the morning. For example, doing these sessions, I've been consistent. I mean, I don't know if I've been consistent in my life doing something for this long, you know, for weeks, continuously. I'm saying continuously, as the master's session. I said, I'm gonna do this up until end of the year. I want to see what's happening. I'm challenging myself into learning a lot more, you know, because I have to be able to deliver to you. So what matters most is I want to see you guys prospering. I want to see myself, and I want to see my team winning. That is what matters to me most. What matters is I want to see my family winning. I want to provide more. I want to enjoy life more. You understand? Is that what you want? Now, if that is what you want, then one thing that you know you need to do is you need to keep learning on how you can become a better FBO, on how you can become a professional when it comes to this business. And one of the things that you want to do is you need to keep learning on how you can be able to present your business and the products better. So please, let's keep reminding ourselves on what matters, what are our goals, what are we looking for, and all that. And I just want to remind you that we only have got, not this month, not this week, it's not the whole week. We only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday alone to close the month. Only up to 29th, because the 30th is Saturday, and the 1st is Sunday. So we basically only have got up until Friday to close the month. So if there's something that you're working on, this is the time to make things happen. This week is the time to follow up. So I've shared with you the psychology of yourself, so that you can also know that follow-up is one thing that we need to do. But if you have done less work during the month, then probably one thing that you want to do is to do a lot more activities this week, so that you can be able to have a lot more people to follow up. Because we can't say that you're gonna be following up this week, and you don't have people on the pipeline to have to sell. You understand? So yeah, so let's just keep building and keep doing it. So thank you all very much, and I wish you all great success when it comes to closing the week, okay, when it comes to closing the month, but also when it comes to closing this 4th month of the year. That next month we are starting Ego Manager. And if you're a manager listening to me right now, I want you to go and learn more about Ego Manager, you know, get to Discover Forever. If you're an assistant supervisor, assistant manager, you know, if you're a preferred customer, one goal, the first goal is get to assistant supervisor first. But from assistant supervisor and above, go to Discover Forever and get to check the criteria for becoming an Ego Manager, so that you can start working on it from now, not from the 1st of May. You understand? If you're here listening to me, make sure that you're not missing your 4CC this month, but also because you're not supposed to quit on your 4CC on the first month of the Ego Manager. So I wish you all great success, and I know that we together are